Her piece, Mother's Helper.
I invited Jessica into our lives, but once she arrived, I resented her. At the time, Asher, our son, was about 4 years old. He loved talking to her. His eyes lit up at the mention of her name. He quickly became dissatisfied speaking solely to me. I couldn't blame him, really. I mean, I was the one who introduced her to Asher in the first place because I needed the help. During those early childhood years, my lady spouse, Gabriella, left for work before Asher woke up in the morning and came home after he was already in bed for the night. And he was not an easy child. He was born 5 weeks early, which allowed us to attribute missed milestones and delayed development to being premature. He'd catch up, we told ourselves. He's fine. He never crawled, and he didn't walk until he was 19 months old. I carried him around like a laundry basket on my hip for the first year and a half of his life. He spoke eventually, but he referred to himself in the third person. He'd say, "Can you tie Asher's shoes?" or "Asher wants raisins." We thought it was cute. We called it his Bob Dole impersonation. He did not like loud groups or chaos or mess, and during weekly playgroups, he fastened himself to my lap, where it was safe from sounds and smells and spit of unpredictable children. While the kids played together, the moms chatted and laughed and shared their successes and their frustrations. Asher and I sat a ring or two removed from the cluster of moms and children as he rooted himself into my lap and observed from afar. The din of their conversation served as white noise for him, but taunted me as I strained to listen and struggled to participate. He became heavy on my body, and I felt suffocated. So when I invited Jessica into our lives, I wanted Asher to like her. I wanted him to talk to her, and he loved her immediately. She was drawn to him too. She was drawn literally, as in I drew her on my hand. Do you see? 2 eyes and a mouth. This was Jessica. She was not only drawn to him, she was drawn for him every day at Asher's request. I'd retrace that face over and over again. It got to the point where I couldn't ever completely wash her away. So I drew her on my left hand because I'm right-handed, so I could mostly ignore that wide-eyed face during the day, and my lady spouse could ignore her at night. Asher knew she was just a drawing on my hand. He knew that I was the voice behind Jessica. My mouth moved with her mouth. I didn't change her voice to distinguish her from me. Jessica was Mom, and Mom was Jessica. But Jessica was better. She was kind and encouraging, and she gave him her complete attention. At least that's how it looks when you can't blink. At the playground, I'd say, "Look at you at the top of the slide all by yourself. Tell Jessica," he'd answer. And I would hold up my hand for him and repeat myself. "Look at you at the top of the slide. Good job, Asher." At dinner, I'd say, "I'm so proud of you for eating your broccoli, Asher. Show Jessica. Jessica, look," he'd say. "Yes, I see, Asher," Jessica said. "That's great. Can you eat some more of your broccoli?" He'd nod enthusiastically, and I'd hold Jessica out a little longer to bear witness, and then she'd disappear for the moment. She'd be summoned throughout the day and night over and over again, repeating my requests, reiterating my praise, and reminding me that I wasn't enough. Honestly, I don't know what possessed me to create a hand puppet in the first place. Before I had kids, my hands were reserved for rude gestures and flirtatious fondling, with consent, of course. Come to think of it, I did used to say that I loved ladies in miniskirts because they were like walking hand puppets. That joke played really well amongst lesbians in the 90s. And now, here she was, a member of our family. Over time, that patient, encouraging, gentle hand puppet at the end of my arm just became a part of me. I don't remember when Jessica left us. I kept drawing her until he didn't need her anymore, or until I didn't need her anymore. These days, Asher pushes my buttons in special ways only teenagers can, and I'm not always my best self. When he grunts instead of using words or has an obnoxious crack to make about everything, I ask myself, what would Jessica do? And even in those moments, though, nothing compares to those early days when I was mostly on my own with a kid I didn't understand. Jessica taught me a great deal about myself and about parenting. I learned that in order to access the best version of yourself, sometimes you just need a hand.